Rachel Carson Middle School is part of the Horsepen Creek watershed, which feeds into the Potomac River, Chesapeake Bay, and Atlantic Ocean watershed.
We noticed an increase in litters near doors 2 and 8.
And this is a bad problem because not only does it make our communities ugly, it also harms the organisms that live in our environment.
We decided to go with a 3-point action plan. So first, we were going to educate people in the Lake Fairfax event, where we reached out to about 240 members of our local community and talked to them about watersheds.
At Lake Fairfax Day, we used 3D model examples like glitter to show fertilizer and demonstrated the ripple effect. Seeing that pollution wash into the ocean was like a light bulb moment for a lot of people, proving that our front yards are directly connected to the Chesapeake Bay.
Then our second key strategy is public works of art, so painting storm drains.
By painting only rain in the drain on the pavement, we use student creativity to turn basic infrastructure into a system of shared responsibility.
And our final key strategy is putting the trash and recycling bins out near doors 2. So by putting out these bins, we hope that they are more incentivized to put their trash in the place it goes so that it doesn't go down to our streams.
Norfolk, Virginia is a coastal city that experiences frequent flooding and sea level rise. Urban developments increase our stormwater runoff.
To better understand the issue, we use multiple data collection methods, including a trash audit, student surveys, storm drain observations, and water testing. Using both quantitative and qualitative data allowed us to confirm that pollution is a consistent problem in our community. Our solution combines prevention and restoration. Upstream, we reduce pollution through cleanups and education, and downstream, we install oyster cages to filter pollutants that have already entered the water.
The reason why we chose oysters was because they can filter up to 50 gallons per day per oyster, as well as improve water clarity and dissolved oxygen. They help with nitrogen cycling with denitrification. Future environmental science classes will continue our work long after the original class who started it is gone, with monthly monitoring and testing of the water quality, cleaning out the oyster cages, while the environmental club will continue our trash audits around the school.
There's a lot of suburban development in Northern Virginia, which causes problems for the Chesapeake Bay watershed.
When we tested the water at Bull Run Park, we discovered problems with our local waterways. We concluded it was not safe to release our trout close to London town. Two issues we faced were our school's overproduction of compost and the trash going into our drains.
We are creating a board game to educate our community about our watershed and problems that impact aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems.
We chose to create a game board because it would be an easy way to interact with people of all ages, spreading awareness of our Chesapeake Bay watershed.
The questions educate the players about watershed factors and how we can take action to sustain ecosystems long term. We've been in touch with several collaborators. Mr. Mosley joined us as our Get to Green mentor and as a Trout in the Classroom representative. This month we had the privilege of presenting our game board idea to the FCPS superintendent, Dr. Reed. She liked our idea so much she plans on filming us for a county-wide broadcast.
So the problems we've identified in our woodland and outdoor classroom is that there are many invasive species taking over, there's a lack of diversity, there are colonies of natives at risk of being crowded out, and there's also a lack of awareness and use of the outdoor classroom itself. We're doing invasive removal, native plant installation, bolstering infrastructure, and increasing engagement and awareness school and community-wide about the outdoor classroom and woodland space. Workdays after school to clean up the space. We've removed quite a bit of invasive vines and autumn olive. We're using an applied nucleation strategy, and as part of that, we got fencing that Fairfax Prism helped us install around the native shrubs to create pods, as we call them.
We are planning to work with the art department to install sculptures in the outdoor classroom, and we are planning for AP Art History students after AP exams to create these temporary art installations. Currently, we have increased our outreach significantly. We have started to post on Instagram more frequently and encourage students to join our Schoology group, which have doubled the number of members in our club. We will make our project sustainable through transitioning our project from the seniors to the freshmen or sophomores at Oakton. Additionally, we are going to continue to monitor and plan more ways in which we can expand our project, which can be achieved through continuing to expand our partnerships with local organizations.
year, about 300 million pounds of polluted nitrogen enters the Chesapeake Bay, and chemical fertilizers are accountable for it. Our main concern and issue this year is the food waste going to the trash, the lack of composting, and the runoff with the unhealthy chemicals leading to watershed pollution.
Our solution is to feed chickens food from our cafeteria to reduce waste from our school. Some of the benefits that come from this project is the trash going to the dumps reducing by 75%. Also, the soiled chicken bedding goes straight to compost, and chickens spread comfort and happiness.
We are partnering with parents, the local farmers market, and above all, students to ensure the longevity of this project.
Some of the challenges that came from this are extremely long winters. We also will have predators and rodents. Luckily, we have a natural cover from the treetops and it's the courtyard, so they can't really get in there. Also, it was finding a nesting area. We helped with that by having more nesting boxes. We are the change. Students have been volunteering more and more, and they're actually excited to put their food in the bins knowing it's going straight to the chickens. And we're just improving our community bit by bit, and everyone's just seeing how in place this is.
This year, we want to add science to our garden that can educate people on how our native plants help prevent dead zones in our watershed.
On average, the Chesapeake Bay has over 1.2 cubic miles of dead zones. This doesn't just affect marine life, but it could also have a big economic impact.
To help solve this issue, we added native plants with deeper roots that could absorb more nitrogen and phosphorus to the garden. Then, we presented our findings at our school STEM festival where we educated people on the issue. We concluded that most people don't know what dead zones are, and they aren't aware of how native plants can help.
Our signs are going to be built with the intent to educate others and to encourage them to join with local environmental organizations. The first sign will have information about how to reduce fertilizer use. The second sign will include native plants and how they prevent death. And the third sign will have QR codes to our school website and information on local organizations. After seeing these signs, students will share information with their parents. Then we will get our community involved.
To further influence people, we are working with a local nursery to create a list of plants for people to add into their garden. Besides the shopping list, we will also offer a discount to influence our community. Our research showed that people were interested in buying native plants, they just needed help.
Our school is surrounded by impervious surfaces like concrete, which prevents water infiltration. That can create flooding, and flooding increases pollutant runoff.
We identified a specific area on our campus called the pit, where water collects after rainfall. This location is ideal for a rain garden because it is already a low point where runoff gathers. By transforming this space, we can capture and absorb stormwater before it reaches storm drains.
Our plan includes 3 strategies: researching and building partnerships to gain permission and resources, preparing the site and planting native vegetation, and third, maintaining the garden while collecting data and sharing results with the community.
We worked with multiple community partners. These partnerships helped us gain permission, access resources, and receive plant and supply donations.
We have successfully installed the garden beds and have purchased our native plants. This shows that even when challenges arise, we can be resilient in our just approach at the problem.
Future classes and environmental club will continue maintaining the garden.
Throughout this project, we learned that students can create real environmental change when we work together.
Light pollution is a serious issue as it disrupts our ecosystems and our community, in particular due to the commonly installed bright LED lights that make this issue worse. We measured light pollution with a kit, and then we approached the Fairfax County government to make a change. We also met and engaged partners such as the Northern Virginia Astronomy Club, the Bird Alliance, and Dark Skies International. In October, we learned that there are already many laws in place and that the real issue centered around educating our community rather than getting additional government legislation. And then we held meetings with Longfellow Middle School, and we scheduled a joint outreach event for January, preparing stargazing, games, and baked events that whole families could come and learn about this issue.
After this event, where we continued to make a difference in the community, we invited a Fairfax County Deputy Director of Code Compliance, Ben Aiken, to take a look at our school's lighting, which we thought was not following best lighting practices. We also approached the school administration to ask about the lighting schedule for the football field, and we learned from Ben several methods to changes in our school's lighting, strips to put on the lights to make them darker. Since our proposal, we have reached out to our school, the local school system, the local government, and the state government, and the federal government, and we've asked them to educate and promote dark skies regulations.
So we love the idea of creating direct change, which is where we're going to the aspect of attaining these actual light strips and testing them to see if they're effective, especially effective in wide use.
We have a woodland area behind our school, and we have trails over there. Along those trails, there are these like wooden story walk signs that the little kids will read when they walk down there. So we decided that not only were we gonna fix those story walk signs, but we came up with this idea that we were gonna get a little QR code sticker. It would take them to a website that we would build that would have different types of native species of trees that are in that area, or plants. We also wanted to be able to get a station where we can have little trash bags. Our woodland area gets polluted with a lot of trash.
So some of these student drawings are different types of plants that we found and sketches of the leaves. We also have trash tallies of how many pieces of trash we found.
There's a little illustration of what we imagine for the trash bags.
We also got to interview our head of the school, Miss Machado, 2 of our lower school teachers, and they all were interested in our idea and were open to supporting us.
So our issue we're choosing to focus on is bogs. They're incredibly important to the environment, but they're disappearing. Our goal is to build an even deeper sense of wonder about bog plants in Maryland and inspire students to speak out in order to protect and restore bog habitats.
We asked all of the people at our school what was one activity or thing they would like to do to learn about bogs. People answered field trips, carnivorous plants, planting, interactive digital learning, and outdoor lessons.
So strategies we developed based on these results is to raise awareness, and we also try to implement something about bogs into the 7th grade ecosystems curriculum. And we also want to give students a chance to interact with the terrarium and to create a bog habitat in one of our outdoor gardens so students can also interact with that.
And one of the ways we want to get this lesson across to the students is a scratch game created by one of the members of the Bog Battalion.
Another way is a comedy sketch. We'll talk about the impact of bogs to the environment and how we can help save it.
We also have another game that students will love called a Bog Trivia game, where students will answer questions and get a puzzle piece to piece together a big puzzle. This is a great way to raise awareness about carnivorous plants. Every aspect of this budget has had research poured into it. We want the school to know about this project and become a pivotal part of Mount View culture.